How you guys doing out there today? For the most part, I just wanted to make a video about habits. Habitually, most of our behaviors are actually habitual. And when you put a lot of thought into that, that pretty much means that we don't apply a lot of thought in what we do. Like, there are good habits and bad habits. And like habitually, we're creatures of habit. Like every day, I'm on the way home from my day job, and every single day, generally, I drive the same route home. Generally, every single day, we generally passing an accident over here. But generally every day, we engage in the same behaviors. And our habits will determine our success financially. So this is part of what I'm really getting at here, is that our habits will determine our success financially. They say that you could take any person, if a person is poor or if a person is wealthy, and you could trace him back to his beginnings, the beginning of his poverty or the beginning of his wealth. And you could pretty much get an idea who they was going to be based on how they spent their time. You see, habits are like technically things that you do once and then you do it again. And if you do it once, like let's say for instance, if you're a singer and you sing well and the people praise you, chances are you're going to want to sing again. You understand? Chances are you're going to want to do it again. Or anything you do. It could be tennis, playing piano. It could be martial arts. It could be painting. It could be book writing, building a computer, or web design. Anything that you do that you get praise from, you're gonna do it again. If you come home with a flower for your wife or your girlfriend and she rewards you handsomely that evening, chances are that you're gonna do it again. Or another way a habit is developed is just being mindless, like just not really putting a lot of thought into what you do. Like out of necessity, you may see some habits developed. But overall, that's how habits are developed. You do something once, and then it goes unchecked. There's no negative response to it. Or you chasing some sort of pleasure. But that's how it is, and the subconscious mind, which is pretty much where habits are stored and operate from, which is different than our conscious minds. Your conscious mind is where your willpower comes from. It's where you make a new decision to go against your habits. That's really when you get into you. But when you speaking on things such as regular habits, now when we discuss things like let's just say a person doing martial arts, when you start in the beginning, it's not gonna be a habit. Any new behavior will not be a habit. And you will never be a master in anything unless, they say it's a 10,000 hour rule, that if you put 10,000 hours in, then after 10,000 hours you have mastered whatever it is that you have practiced for 10,000 hours. But here's the thing, you would never be great at anything unless you practice something. Most people who come from poverty-stricken environments like myself, have never really practiced anything. You know what I'm saying? The only thing most people are good at is not being good at too much. So, my understanding of habit is that we produce habits. Like, for instance, a baby did not have the habit of tying their left shoe first, or their right shoe first, for that matter, first coming out the womb. They ain't have any habits. So this gives some insight into how habits are created and developed. Habits are developed by doing something enough times to where it requires no thought. Once it no longer requires thought, it's a habit. But now here's the thing. Every new thing that we do, it could be smoking cigarettes, it could be drinking. We're always, if you do it once, it's not a habit. If you do it once and enjoy it, the probability that it will be a habit is definitely greater. So now, a lot of times, understanding decisions in order to understand habits, because all habits come from a decision. If I make a decision to smoke a cigarette, then I have initiated what could become a habit. But at the end of the day, it doesn't have to be if I dislike it, because we driven by pleasure. We all driven by pleasure. You feel me? We driven by pleasure. And understanding that we're driven by pleasure, I got to keep my eyes on the road, y'all. So, bear with me, if I'm not making eye contact with you guys out there in YouTube land. But if you really just put enough thought into it, you can see that your habits is going to make you, or your habits are going to break you. And basically, are your habits going to lead to success? That's what this channel is about. Are your habits going to lead to success? If your habits are not going to lead to success, you may want to analyze them. You may want to get a thorough understanding of how habits are developed. How are habits developed? At the end of the day, anything you do repeatedly, they say that when you have a habit, in fact, they say that when you have a habit that, like if you use coke, or shoot heroin, or smoke weed, or you drink all the time, they say, then that person there got a habit. But if you play tennis every day, you got a habit too, So, at the end of the day, it's on you pretty much whether your habits are positive or negative. Now, if you're playing tennis, on the other hand, chances are that you're keeping your body in an athletic and a fit state, which means that 9 times out of 10, you ain't got to even concern yourself with whether this is going to have negative consequences. See, all our habits are still behaviors, and they will, and every action has an equal and opposite reaction. For every cause, there's an effect, and for every effect, there's a cause. So, if you got the habit of smoking cigarettes,